So we are about to embark on 2.5 of the busiest, most intense, most challenging weeks probably of your life, okay? And it's a big commitment to go after a big goal, to work daily, not knowing exactly what the result's gonna be, all right? But being able to stay positive, being able to stay focused regardless of the results is a really big thing. And so this was something my manager had, kind of a mindset thing. And you're going to hear this again during Leadership Academy, but this is something that's like just the greatest achievers in life run their life based on this. And you could write this down. This is called the decision train. All right, the decision train. And so the decision train goes like this. There's 3 parts, all right? So if you had like 3 cabs, right? 3 different parts of the train. One part of the train is the feelings, all right? So your feelings. The middle part of the train is action, all right? And the third part of the train is decision, all right? Decision. And so these are my little train cabs. I'm going to show you guys my wonderful little picture right here. All right. So everyone see this? All right. So we've got 3 little train cabs. We got feeling, action, decision. All right. Now, most human beings lead in their lives based on feeling. Right. And so this is what leads their train in their life. They're like, if I feel like it, I do this. If I don't feel like it, I don't. Right. And so feeling is what dictates whether I take action or not. And so sometimes it might match the decision I'd made for myself that I'm working towards, but many times it doesn't if you lead by feeling. And what I mean by that is I want to lose 20 pounds, and I have a plan, right, of what I need to do. And I make a decision and I make a commitment to say, I'm going to do that. And so each morning, I take action based on that decision, even if I don't feel like it. I might wake up and go, I don't want to do that. But it's like, nope, I made a decision. Therefore, I'm going to take action. All right. And here's what happens when we do that. We always end up feeling great. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like I've had days where I'm like, I do not want to go to the freaking gym. And then once I finish, I'm like, God, I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I got out of bed. I'm so glad I'm feeling good. Can you raise your hand if that resonates with you at all? If that's ever happened to you with anything, just so I know I'm not alone. Okay. And so I will tell you guys, if you lead your life and say, I'm going to let this is the most powerful thing in the world, but this also takes the most discipline, all right? To say, I'm going to let this always lead, all right? I know I'm not always going to feel like it. I know I'm not going to want to wake up sometimes. I know I'm not going to want to make calls sometimes. I know I'm not going to want to make the extra effort or do the extra thing or do whatever it is. I just know that's not going to happen. And so I'm not going to allow feeling to lead my train. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to take action based on the decision. And if I do that, I know that in the end, I'm always going to feel great that I took that action that backed up the decision that I made. And so as we're going into this, I really want to encourage you guys. This is a practice of the top people in the world and the biggest performers, because they all know no matter how great you are, no matter how successful you are, no matter what it is that you do, you will always not feel like it at some point or another. Got it? Even me. Yes, even me. I don't feel like it sometimes. Okay. But even though I don't feel like it, I have to do it. All right. I made a decision. And so I've got to get up and go. All right. Those of you who are going to be parents one day, there's going to be a lot of days where you don't feel like doing shit. Okay. But you have to, because you've got people counting on you and people that are depending on you. And so you've made a decision to take care of these humans, or made a decision to give them X, Y, and Z life. And therefore you take action based on that decision. And you'll always feel good in the end that you did that. If you let feelings, you're always going to have regrets if you let feelings dictate what activity that you take. All right. And so I want to challenge you guys as we go in these 2.5 weeks. Number one, today, make a decision of what it is. You're like, I will complete 40 appointments, or I will do this. I will commit to my 30 calls every single day. And some of you, it might be 20 or 25 calls. I'd encourage you guys at 11 a.m. every day, being ready to make 30 phone calls, but make a decision now and then take action until you get there, and then feel damn proud of yourself that you hit your goal. every single day. The thing you can control is your commitment to the activity, the actions. Cool. I can control whether I make 30 calls or not. I can't necessarily control how many buy today. Yes, I can control coming in, doing my best, but I've done kick-ass demos and the people just weren't going to buy that day. That's happened, right? We have no sales. We know that as good as you are, nobody has 100% closing ratio. You can get up there, you can get in the late 80s, early 90s. There are a lot of people with 88% to 92% closing ratios, but we know some people just aren't going to buy, even if Jason Jeffrey saw them, even if Josh Mueller, who's at $8 million in sales. Like, we know that some people are just not going to buy. So we can't control that, but we can control that we got our 4 demos for the day, that we showed up to those 4 demos with 110%, that we gave our best energy, that we gave our attitude, that we had fun with our customer. Like, the actions we take, we can control. We cannot always control the results. And what I want you guys to like start learning to take ownership and feel proud of is activity. Is action. It's acting on your decisions, because you can always feel freaking great about that. Even if the results are going to vary. We know that, right? And if you don't, let me remind y'all, we're about to go on a freaking crazy ass roller coaster ride in these next 2.5 weeks. And there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs and there's going to be all around, and your emotions are going to be all over the effing place. Trust me. You're going to have days you're like, best job ever, Coco for life. You're going to have days that you're like, this fucking sucks. I hate this shit. Like, F this, I'm quitting. All right. If you don't have those, you're not working hard enough. I'm just being real with y'all. All right. Just know that you're going to have so many emotions during this period. Do not let those emotions dictate your action. Got it? Make your decisions now. Commit to that and feel effing good that you take the activity that you say, I'm going to make 20 calls right now, and you make it. You're like, hell yeah, I made my 20 calls. Maybe you booked 0 demos. I don't care. Good for you. You made your 20 calls. You know, maybe you booked 5. Awesome. All right. I'm going to watch you guys and see, are you taking action based on your decisions? And that's what I'm going to celebrate with y'all. And I know that if you keep doing that day in and day out, you do your 5 calls before and after every demo. You make your morning calls every day. If you had someone cancel or reschedule on you, what should you be doing during that time? Anyone? Make calls. You were planning on working anyway. Got it? You guys know your demo number for each day. You were planning on working anyway. Like, oh, I'm just going to go hang out and play video games, or I'm going to go have lunch with my sister since this demo canceled. That's great, but that's not the commitment you made. You made a commitment to work that day and do 5 demos. So let's bust it out and see what we can do to make that happen. Cool. If you want to have lunch with sister, hell yeah. Book it in your schedule prior. All right. Have that planned so that you can make sure that, again, you're taking action for work when you planned on doing that. All right. And so Claudia, John, I don't know if any of the managers want to share anything else before we dive into our lunch jam here. But I'd love, yeah, any other words? And then it's game time, baby. I can't believe it. We are here. Super Bowl 2023. But go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, thank you, Kathy. And just this is my 6th time going through SU2, guys. And you know, like Michael says, you're always in a different flowing waters, right? So every time I hear that message, I just always I'm reminded pretty, you know, of like when I was a baby rep and now where I am now. And that's why you guys have your accountability partners. Cool. Like, we don't expect you guys to do all this on your own. That's why we have these teams. That's why you have your manager. That's why I want you guys, and Kathy and Claudia, we want y'all and Jacob over these next 18 days. Like, this is the group we're really excited to work with. Cool. Mm-hmm. This is the group that we see building our division with. All right. Because you guys show up for the right reasons. Okay, cool. So just know that your manager sees something in you. Not everyone on the team is on this call right now, guys. All right. That's a privilege. I want you to be excited and let that empower you. Let's use every single morning together that we spend together to launch us in, all right, to this journey of great days, average days, tough days. Because, guys, I've had great days, and I'm so glad I had Miss Claudia Prince, my work wife, to celebrate with. I've had average days, and I'm so glad to be able to, you know, go home and be like, Katie, let's make some eggs, right? Woohoo, whatever. And I'm so glad that I had Miss Kathy Kristen, guys, right, to pick me up, and Miss Selene to be able to pick me up when I had those tough days. All right, cool. Because I don't know if I would have made it to where I am now if it wasn't for this alliance. All right, cool. So I'm very excited for the journey that you guys have these next 18 days. That's all I had to say, Miss Kathy. I don't know if.
Awesome. Claudia, did you want to share anything? Or is she on a call? I know she's running
No,
advanced training here.
I just
ahead.
no, I just wanted to share, like, I love SC2. Like, this is one of my favorite times of the year. I was actually just sharing with Morgan. It's an opportunity, guys, for you to redo your fast start. You know, before, whether you had a, you know, $100 fast start, $1,000, $20,000 fast start, right? It doesn't matter. It's an opportunity to start at zero, and really just even the playing field for yourself. It allows you to put you on track. For those of you who are students, you balance an SC2, you know, you balance a schedule like this, you can do anything. Like, this is where you get lined up for your fall semester. All right. You don't wait till August 15th to say, oh, I have classes, right? You knew you had classes. You registered for them in the spring. All right. And if you signed up for them late, it was like the end of the summer or the top of August, right? The people part of SC2, they just show up differently when school starts, you know, if they're balancing a full-time job or have kids, you just show up differently, because that accountability, that discipline, it really sets you apart from the next person. And like John said, like, we could have had, you know, we could have invited everyone to the call, but you know, that's not what we're here to do. We're really here to help you tap into U 2.0. And so there's a select group of you guys that we're excited about locking arms with, we want to build with. And this is just the first step. All right. It's the first step. So thank you for being on time this morning, for showing up, doing something different. Actually, I say this morning, but to me, SC2 is a 7 a.m. alliance. Kathy is so nice to y'all. Like, oh my God. 10 years, I cannot tell you, like, driving to the office, like both eyes wide open at 6 a.m. because whoever's late has to buy breakfast for everyone. Could you imagine buying breakfast for 40 people, 50 people, 60 people?
And
all right.
Kaden,
You better go do, yeah. Kaden, like, you see the price of eggs right now? Like, I would not be able to feed Kaden. Okay. I'd have to go do demos, right? But she's so generous, the generous queen. Okay. So definitely take advantage of this. I'm excited to see, you know, what your number is. I'm excited to see, you know, how you develop a side of sales, how you grow in these next 17 days, because that's the biggest win, is the growth and shifting your mindset as you transition like into the fall. So that's all I've got for you. I've got some people in person here I'm going to rock with. So anything else,
Awesome.
Kathy?
No, I want to make sure everyone tracks their calls, because I want a picture of your call log posted into the GroupMe when you're done. Got it? 10K Alliance GroupMe. Once you clock out, post your call log. And by the way, if you're like, oh shoot, I don't have a call log with me, guys, you can do it. I believe in you. All you have to do is make some lines, all right, and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then voila, I got 30 boxes and I can track my calls, and I reach this person and I book this person and I book this person, and I'm calling and this one says call them back and this one says call them back, and then I booked another one, you know, and just track these bad boys. And there, I know I made 30 calls. I reached 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and I booked 4. Okay. And then was this a callback or was it a not interested? I do want to know if it was a callback or a not interested, because if you're having a lot of not interested, there's something wrong with the phone approach. All right. So track your calls, and when you're done, boom, take a picture, post it in the group, all right, for accountability purposes, right? And so we're all here to help each other, hold each other accountable, to make sure we're hitting the numbers we're gonna hit. So I wanna make sure right now you guys post in the GroupMe, what is your commitment of calls? Is it 25? Is it 30? Are you someone who's just doing 3K plus and you're going for 20? But I need your number commitment of how many calls you're gonna make right now. It should not be less than 20, and the goal should be 30. But is it 25, 20, 25? Is it 30? Post it in there right now. Everybody go to the 10K Alliance GroupMe and post it. And please go ahead and we're going to start calls. And so I don't know, John, are you able to share music? Or I don't know if anyone's able to. I can't with my computer. My computer's dead.